Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, our course is Human Resource Management in Education, and today I am going to discuss lecture number 10 regarding training and development. After the discussion or delivery of this lecture, you people will be able to define or explain what is training and development, why is training and development, what is the importance of training and development, what are objectives of training and development, training and development a key human resource function. Then you will be able to explain the differences between training and development. Then system view of training stages in a training program. Then you will be able to elaborate inputs of training and development, and at the last there will be conclusion. First, we will discuss what is training and development. Training, providing learners with knowledge and skills needed for their present jobs, relatively short-term focus. But on the other hand, development is offering learning that goes beyond present job. That is relatively short-term focus. Training constitutes a basic concept in human resource development. It is concerned with developing a particular skill to a desired standard by instruction and practice. Training is a highly useful tool that can bring an employee into a position where they can do their jobs correctly and effectively. Training is the act of increasing the knowledge and skill of an employee for doing a particular job. There are some other definitions of training. According to Dale, the organized procedure by which people learn knowledge and skills for a definite purpose. Training refers to teaching and learning activities carried on for the primary purpose of helping members of an organization acquire and apply the knowledge. They also apply their skills, they also apply their abilities and attitudes needed by a particular job and organization. Then comes what is development. Development refers to the overall holistic and educational growth and maturity of people in managerial positions. The process of development is in relation to insights, attitudes, adaptability, leadership, and human relations. Training and development programs are designed according to requirement of the organization, the type and skills of employee being trained, the end goal of the training, and the job profile of the employees. These programs are generally classified into two types: on-the-job programs and off-the-job programs. Now we move to the next slide. You can see in this diagram that different terms are used in training. These are coaching, teaching, knowledge, skills, experience, development. We can say that training is expensive. Without training, it is more expensive. It means that if training is expensive, then without training, it is more expensive. Means without training, people cannot do their work or cannot perform their activities. Here, the term coaching is used. Coaching is a process that aims to improve performance and focus on the here and now, rather than on the distant past or future. While there are many different models of coaching, but here we use the word coaching regarding to training. Then another term is used, which is teaching. Teaching is the profession of or a work of a teacher or a trainer. It relates to ideas or principles taught by an authority in any organization. Teaching is the process of attending to people's needs, experiences, and feelings and intervening so that they learn particular things and go beyond the given things. Then comes knowledge. Knowledge is facts, information, and skills acquired through experience or education. It is theoretical or practical understanding of a subject. Knowledge is also awareness of familiarity gained by experience of a fact or a situation. Then the other part of training, it is skills. What is skill? What are skills? Skill is the ability to do something well. Expertise, for example, difficult work, taking great skill. Skill is also a particular ability. Then the other term, that is experience. What is experience? Experience is a practical contact with and observation of facts or events. Similarly, experience is an event or occurrence which leaves an impression on someone. After experience, there is term learn. Learn in training means to gain knowledge or skill by studying, practicing, being taught or experiencing something, to cause, to be in your memory by studying it, to hear or to be told or to find out. Then comes the development. It is the last stage of training and it is at higher level. Now comes what is development. Development is the act or process of growing or causing something to grow or become larger or more advanced. The act or process of creating something over a period of time, the state of being created or made more advanced. Development is the process of developing or being developed, or we can say that it is an event constituting a new stage in a changing situation. Now you have seen over here that training involves coaching, teaching, knowledge, skills, experience, learn and development. Now we go to the next slide. What is training and development? As we have already discussed about it, training helps employee to do their current job, whereas development helps the individual handle future responsibilities. It means that training deals with the current status or current job of a person, whereas development relates to the future responsibilities of any person. Now comes what is the importance of training and development. There are different points that are important for training and development. These points are that training and development benefit the organization. It benefits the organization in different ways. Then training and development benefit the individual. Then it benefits the personal and human relations, intra-group internal group relations. Then comes, what are the objectives of training and development? Training and development has different objectives. First one is efficiency. The second objective is that it improves the quality. The third objective is that versatility in operations, and the fourth one is employees stability. Training and development can help employees to perform better as they become more skilled in their job and are able to complete their work quicker than before. If we consider the efficiency, then we can say that training provides a great opportunity for employees to expand their knowledge base and increase their efficiency and productivity at work. While training is an investment on the company's part, it is worthwhile in the long run. The return on investment from training employees can benefit a business in multifold, as employees can use their training to keep up with the latest advancement in technology and serve their customers better. Then the other point in the objectives of training and development is that it can improve the quality. We live in an imperfect world. People make mistakes and machines break. The goal is to minimize this so that the client is enchanted and reorders. We can do through a focus on quality. Improving quality will save your firm or your organization money, because you will not need to do things to cover up old mistakes. Improving quality will raise the employees' engagement, because people like being on a high performance team. How quality can be improved? It can be improved by measure some more. Then quality can also be improved by focusing on process, not on people. Then the meetings, weekly based meetings, then creating a quality chart, and then making it public. Then the third point in the objectives is that versatility in operations. Versatility as used here means the ability to do many different things well. A family business leader who is truly versatile is able to be strategic and operational, forceful and enabling. Versatility is very difficult to achieve, but it is an investment that pays off handsome. Versatility as used here means the ability to do many different things well. The most obvious benefit to versatile leadership of a family business is the ability to manage more effectively those various roles you might play at any given moment, and the ability to switch back and forth between the roles quickly and easily. Then the other objective, that is employees stability. Here employees stability means that it is the measure the degree of change or stability in the workforce. It can therefore increase the organization's ability to make informed decisions around workforce planning and development. These were 4 objectives for the training and development. Again, I repeat these objectives. These are efficiency, then comes improvement of quality, then comes versatility in operations, and after that is employees stability. Now comes that training and development is a key human resource function. Training and development is one of the key human resource functions. Most organizations look at training and development as an integral part of the human resource development activity. Again, I repeat this point that training and development is the major key role human resource function. Those organizations who have training and development programs as the major part for the human resource development activities. The second point, the turn of the century has seen increased focus on the same in organization globally. It means that different organizations have focused on the training and development for their people. According to the global world, they have to meet the standards of the world for achieving the goals, or to meet the standards of this world they have to arrange the training and development programs. Then the third point is that many organizations have mandated training hours per year for employees, keeping in consideration the fact that technology is de-skilling the employees at a very fast rate. What is difference between training and development? Lots of time training is confused with development. Both are different in certain respect, yet components of the same system. The first difference is that development implies opportunities created to help employees grow. It is more of long-term or futuristic in nature as opposed to training which focus on the current job. It means that development relates to the creation to help employees growth. It is more of long-term or futuristic means that it is for the long term. The development is in the benefit of employees for their future. As opposed to training, the training focuses on the current job. Means training is for the current job, whereas development is for the longer term, means for their future. The major difference between training and development, therefore, is that while training focuses often on the current employee's needs or competency gaps, whereas development concerns itself with preparing people for future assignments and responsibilities. The success of a training program is evaluated in terms of the end result or the increase in the work ability, skill, or competency in the trainee. For any training program to be successful, it is very essential to follow a certain process. Again, I repeat that if any organization wants to make a program that will be successful, this program should be evaluated in terms of the end results, and it increases in the factors. Which factors can be increased by these programs? These factors are work ability, skill or competency in the trainee, and for the training program, if they should be successful, it is very necessary to follow a certain process, to follow certain rules or policies, etc. The basic process as illustrated in the figure coming in the next slide. In the figure consists of 4 stages, which are assessment, development, delivery, and evaluation. You can see in this diagram, first we will discuss training need assessment. A training need assessment identifies individuals' current level of competency, skill, or knowledge in one or more areas and compares that competency level to the required competency standard established for their position or other positions within the organization. training need assessment is the method of determining if a training need exists and if it does, what training is required to fill the gap. Training need assessment seeks to identify accurately the levels of present situation in the target surveys, interviews, observation, secondary data, and or workshops. Then after when the training need assessment is complete, then there is next step, that is how to develop a training program. Develop training plan or develop training program. Once you have identified your needs and desired skills, then comes the next process or next step, which is planning your employees training program. Your program should aim to develop the skills you deem it is most important. Very first objectives are set. Then how will employees performance improve after this program? How will employees better achieve business goals after the program? How will this training program better prepare employees to take on managerial roles? How will this program improve our employee retention rates? You can ask your staff what they would like to learn more about and get them involved in designing a training program. Employee training and development programs best when employees shape them. Then the next step after developing a training program or training plan, that is how to develop training material. If I put a question over here, are you confident that you are producing the best training materials possible? This question may be, is your training material development procedure lacking? In fact, training materials are one of the core pieces of your training program. If they are not compelling and useful, your training is going to lose effectiveness. You might think that training materials are not all that important, but you might be surprised. Well-constructed training manuals or well-constructed training materials provide written content, enable department functions in the absence of key employees, provide new employees with valuable information, and codify workplace rules and guidelines. Human resource departments that develop employees training manuals also find it easier to provide workplace orientation and employee training with written materials. How do you go about creating a well-constructed training material or any piece of training material for that matter? After developing the material, the next step it is how to conduct the training, means the training in actual. All the planning has been done, all the preparation is taken, you know your training needs, you have set your goals, you have managed what is behind it, you promoted your training schedule, prepared material, space and people. The time has finally come. Training day is here. Here are some specific tips and techniques to help you run an effective training sessions that accomplish the goals in an enjoyable and engaging way for everyone involved. There are different steps while conducting the training. After the conduction of training, there is the step that is supportive supervision after the training. Trainers should train supervisors about how to support trainees before the training, during the training, and after the training. Now comes to the next slide. Inputs of training and development. There are so many factors which we can say that these are inputs of training and development. First one is skills, second one is knowledge, third one is development, fourth one is ethics, and fifth one is behavior. Skills is very important tool during the training and development process. It improves employee performance. The employee who receives the necessary training is more able to perform in their job. A training program allows you to strengthen the skills that each employee needs to improve. A development program brings all employees to a higher level so they all have similar skills and knowledge. So, the next step or next factor is knowledge during the training and development. How better knowledge management improves training? Knowledge management is about capturing, distributing, and achieving intellectual capital in a way that encourages knowledge sharing and collaboration in the organization. And this type of learning makes a world of difference to successfully training new hires. The next input for training and development is the development itself. Training and development involves improving the effectiveness of organization and the individuals and team within them. Training may be viewed as related to immediate changes in organizational effectiveness via organized instruction, while development is related to the program of longer term organization and employee goals. While training and development technically have differing definitions, the two are oftentimes usually interchangeably. Training and development has historically been a topic with applied psychology. After the development in training comes the ethics. What are ethics? Ethics training keeps your company profitable and helps employees make consistently good decisions in serving to their colleagues, their customers, and even in serving themselves. However, not just any ethics training course will do. Developing an ethics training program for employees incorporates different ethics. A company or organization or personnel working in the organization will have to follow different ethics it may be so that it may achieve the goals or objectives. Then comes the behavior during the training and development. Employers cannot expect their hires to already be finished products when they walk through the door. Their growth is up to you and how you establish your workplace. By establishing a workplace that encourages communication and balance, you can draw out the productivity within your employees and help them achieve job satisfaction within your company. The workplace should stimulate the growth of skills to promote a stable and productive work setting. When selecting the people that will comprise your workforce, bringing in employees within the right technical skills is not enough. The is very much very much effective for the development and training purposes. There are different behaviors which can be used in skills and training. These are communication, then comes resolution of conflicts among the people of your organization, then comes organization and being able to balance work and life. Then the next behavior is time management. After time management, the next is self improvement. Then comes stress management or resilience, and at the last behavior is patience. Now we go to the conclusion. Training and development is necessity for both the trainer and the trainee. The trainer, here the trainer means the company, would want to make its staff more efficient in this high competitive world. It would want its employees to know the latest trends and technologies and use them according to the company's principles and objectives. Whereas, on the other hand, the trainee, here the trainee means the staff view training and development as a stepping stone for enriching their career and fulfilling their personal needs. Here is the end of our topic for today. So, my dear students, we have discussed regarding the training and development in organization or in institutes. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.